Hi guys, this is Kevin here with the Trucker Side. I'm making this video today to talk about 4 things you need to know in order to be a successful owner-operator. Now, successful from my perspective means being happy where you're at, the work you're doing, the money you're making, the overall picture, the schedule you have, and so on and so forth. Obviously, everybody's definition of success is different, but I feel like we all need to be profitable in order to be successful. I don't think anybody who hasn't paid their bills has ever considered themselves successful. So let's start from that and talk about the things I want to bring up. The 4 things I want to talk about is the truck you want to buy, the trailer you want to haul, the type of maintenance you got to do, and how you got to work around your home time. So the first part, buying the truck. I see a lot of people looking at this a bit superficially, as in I've heard it not once but way too many times where people said, well, I found this truck, it's looking really good, it has low mileage and it has a good price. That is not the criteria you should be choosing your truck based on. You should be looking at specs first of all. Make sure that the truck you're buying works for the work that you're gonna do. Make sure it has the right engine, the right horsepower, the right transmission, number of gears, gear ratio, so on and so forth. If you're going to be hauling more or less weight or different types of equipment, make sure you buy the truck accordingly, because that's what's going to work for you better or not when it comes to fuel mileage, when it comes to repairs, when it comes to all the other expenses you have. Having the right type of truck will put you in the situation where you want to be. Now, another thing about buying a truck is make sure you get your money's worth. It doesn't matter if the truck is older or newer. You want to get your money's worth. You can get a newer truck for a good or a bad price, or you can get an older truck for a good or a bad price. Pretty much, other than a brand new truck, you should expect any truck that you're gonna get is gonna go in the shop, if not straight in the shop, which I usually recommend. Probably within the first month it's gonna have to be serviced. So that's why I'm saying make sure you get your money worth, because you want to make sure you balance the amount of repairs you put in it throughout the first months when you bought it, or the first half a year. You want to balance that out with the price you bought for the truck, whether it's newer or older, like I said. So make sure to keep that in mind. Second part, type of trailer you want to haul. I've been hearing very many people saying that flatbed pays more than reefer, reefer pays more than dry van pays more than this pays more than that. Truth be told, they all have ups and downs. If you really average things up after a year or two, unless you're doing something very highly specialized or very highly physical, like moving or stuff of that nature, everything will even out towards pretty much the same income, or if not the same income, the same profit. Because yes, if you compare reefer to dry van, it will pay more per mile, but then again your expenses are higher as well. The time you lose is more. So when you draw the line, there's really not going to be a big difference. They both have their times of the year, they both have their areas around the country where they pay better or where they pay less. Yes, that is there, but if you want to be successful in trucking, you got to look at the bigger picture. You got to look at averages, you got to look at long term, you got to look at that type of profitability, because this week is not going to make a change in your life. It's the choices you make that are going to bring differences in your life. And I think the best way to choose the trailer you want to haul is by what works for you. For example, if you're a person that needs all their sleep in one night, don't go with the reefer. You go with the reefer, you're never going to sleep your nights. If you're a person that doesn't like physical work, don't go with the flatbed, and so on and so forth. So don't make this decision based solely on the money that you're going to make, because you're going to end up being unhappy, and being unhappy will make you inefficient. When you're inefficient, you're not going to be profitable, so therefore you're not going to be successful. So keep that in mind. Ask any questions if you have down in the comment section, and we can talk more about it if you want. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the third thing, which is home time. Home time as an owner operator, I see that a lot of guys wanna like get a truck and then they just expect it to make money because they own it. Truth be told, the truck is not going to make its schedule after you. You have to make your schedule after the truck, meaning you got to take into consideration market, like market conditions, holidays, weekends, weekdays, so on and so forth, in order to be efficient. Don't try to work too hard when the market is down to make up for the fact that you haven't worked when the market was up. Work hard when the market is up. Stack up money to be ready when the market is good or bad. Stay ahead of your business. The more you work, the more money you generate, the better you are prepared for the times in the market when things are tough. Because make no mistake, things will get tough. Things in trucking get tough, and they get tough in a cyclic way. So they are tough now, they will be better, they will get tough again. Make sure you are ready for this. Spend your home time wisely. Try and mix your home time with your maintenance, so you can do both at the same time, and that will show a difference in time. That will pay off. Fourth aspect I want to talk about is maintenance. Maintenance needs to be done on your terms. Way too many people treat a semi-truck like a vehicle. They change the oil, they check the tires, and then they just take it in the shop when it breaks down. Big mistake. Big mistake. You need to have a maintenance schedule. The maintenance schedule should be, I would say, anywhere between 2 weeks and a month. Get it in the shop. Those 2 weeks to a month depend on how old your truck is, what condition it's in, and so on and so forth. You know how long you've been staying on this maintenance schedule. Obviously, once you get a good feeling about what's going on around the truck, you can space it out a little bit. I don't recommend spacing it out at all, because what generally happens is the more you space it out, the more you risk having problems on the road, and then you have to fix your trucks on somebody else's terms. So then you're gonna have your truck in a random shop. You risk getting a towing invoice, which is a big expense in trucking. So you would get a towing invoice to tow your truck to a random shop and then fix it on somebody else's terms. Try and always mix maintenance with home time in order to have the same mechanic look at the truck, get a good feeling on what's going on with the truck, and build a good relation with that mechanic. You know, respect him, he's gonna respect you. Pay him on time, don't give him a hard time. Sometimes shops get busy. Work with them, use your patience, let them do what they gotta do, and you will see that in time, mixing these two, the home time with the maintenance, and having the same mechanic look at it, minimizing the risk of getting broke down on the road and not having towing invoices at all or very little, is gonna pay off for you. It's gonna work out for you, and it's gonna make you successful. It's gonna make you profitable. Try it out and see how it works for you. I do see that a lot of people are struggling in trucking, and I think that's because a lot of people listen to a myth that is pretty wrong, that owning a truck pays a lot of money, which yes, it can pay a lot of money if and only if you do the right thing, which is a major aspect that you got to take into consideration. And a lot of people kind of feel like it's a part-time job. Reason why I think that happens is because just because of the timing, some people get their truck in a good market, and getting a truck in a good market is going to show you some numbers that are actually not accurate. Trucking goes up and down, so you got to balance the good market with the bad market, not work with either of them. You need to work with the average. So I can understand why some people think that when they got the truck in a good market, they think that they're going to make a lot of money by working, say, a few days a week, 3 or 4 days a week. Truth be told, when you average these things out, if you only work 3 or 4 days a week, it's never going to average out. It's never going to pay enough to cover your business expenses and your personal expenses. So I would say keep this in mind. Being an owner-operator is not a part-time job. Being an owner-operator is very hard work. It's just that there's too much marketing and too much selling points, too many selling points, sorry, and too many people trying to sell too many things and trying to get people to work for nothing. That's why they present it as, oh, buy a truck, be your own boss, you're gonna be a millionaire in no time. Rest assured, guys, that's false. In trucking, if you want to be successful, you have to work hard. You have to work very, very hard. If being a trucker, if being on the road, if being out is not your thing, reconsider, sorry to say this, reconsider your career, because being out on the road and not being happy with it is a struggle, and it's a hardship that not a lot of people can put up with. That's just my personal opinion. And I can understand that sometimes, you know, you work a few days a week and you make enough money, it looks good. It can be good for 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. It can be good for even a couple of years if the market stays strong. However, what you need to take into consideration is these things can turn around and go against you. There are so many expenses in trucking, so much unpredictable. Out of nowhere you can end up with 2 or 3 weeks of not working and with some huge invoices. I mean, just look at it like you're somewhere on I-80 or I-70 in the Midwest, in the middle of nowhere. Closest shop is 200 miles away. Closest shop that can do work. Yes, there are shops closer, but you know, they get busy sometimes. Sometimes they don't even work on the stuff you need. Maybe they don't work on the truck you have, and so on and so forth. You might end up with a towing invoice of some thousands of dollars right off the back. You might have to pay some thousands of dollars to have your load recovered, because the load might be time sensitive, so then you don't have all the time to wait until you actually fix your truck. You have to pay somebody else to come get it and take it to the delivery. Round up all these expenses with 2 or 3 weeks of not working, and trust me, it does not make for a pleasant picture at all. You want to be able to tackle these things when they come your way. You want to be prepared mentally and financially for these things when they come your way. Otherwise, your trucking business is shaky. It's shaky, and chances of it being successful are low. Therefore, you got chances of putting your work into something that it's not going to pay out. Try to avoid that. Do your ultimate best to avoid that. Work hard. Put your time into it, put your soul into it, and trust me, trucking will pay off for you. Just have the patience that you need to have. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you got any questions, put them down in the comment section. We'll be more than happy to answer. We are always on the trucker side. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Have a good day.